Good morning, you guys. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we will be going to the Noosa Everglades, which is one of only 2 Everglades in the entire world, the other one being in Florida. I booked my tour with Habitat Noosa, and they had a shuttle bus option that would pick you up at different spots throughout Noosa. So once my bus picked me up, we were on our way to the Noosa Everglades. We had a few more stops to pick up some other people. I really enjoyed the ride because I got to see a little bit more of the neighborhood and the Noosa area. So after we finished picking everybody up, we made our way to Habitat Noosa. It was really cool because we got to see some kangaroos out at the front entrance. So Habitat Noosa is basically a campground, so you can come camping or glamping because they do have some really cool tents available for you to rent, which I thought was really cool, and I would love to be able to come back one day and stay in one of those tents. I think that would be really fun. Another thing I really enjoyed was that the tour guide gave us a little bit of history and background information about Habitat Noosa and the area and some other things we could expect on our tour. Once our bus pulled up to the front entrance, he dropped us off, and then we were able to check in and we were given a boarding pass for our tour. There were 2 groups. I was in group 2. So the first group would do the canoeing portion of the tour first, and then we would meet up and switch, and then group 2 would then do the canoeing portion second. If you're in group 2, you will do the boat ride and tour and history information and a little bit of wildlife spotting and bird watching first, and then you'll do the canoeing portion of the tour. I definitely would recommend this tour if you're really into nature and wildlife and being outdoors. I think you would really enjoy this tour. So this is the first group. They will be doing the canoeing portion first, and we just continued on past them to the meetup spot. The Everglades kind of reminds me of the swamps in Louisiana with all the wildlife and the still water and the different channels. It really reminds me of like a similar type of ecosystem, that's rich in wildlife. So our tour guide did stop along the way to point out different wildlife that he was able to spot. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I will point it out here. We did see a koala, and I think it did have a baby, but it was kind of hard to see it. It took me like 5 minutes before I could actually spot it out. I honestly don't know how he was able to spot it. I'm sure after years and years of doing this, it's very obvious for him, but for me, I was like, what? I can't see. So another native Australian wildlife we were able to spot was a tawny frogmouth. I don't know if you guys are able to spot it, but there it is right there. I definitely was very lost. I had to get someone to help me spot this one. But one I did need help spotting was this lizard. I'm not exactly sure what kind of lizard it is, but it was pretty cool. Once we got to the meeting point, we were able to walk around a little bit and have some snacks. They had muffins, oranges, and some apple juice and orange juice for us. So we just kind of hung out and chatted with other people on the tour, which was really cool, getting to learn where everyone was from and what their travel plans were. So once everyone from group 1 made it back, we were able to start paddling. Luckily, I met this guy from Germany. Shout out to Toby. He was really cool. He was also solo traveling, so we decided to partner up. And if you were wondering, yes, there are fish in these waters. The water looks very dark, almost black looking, but in real life it's actually very red, and the water is very still and calm, and it kind of has a mirroring effect on the water, which I think is really cool. I really enjoyed this portion of the tour because it was an active activity for us to do, and the nature and the wildlife was so peaceful out there. It was very cool. I would recommend you guys doing this tour if you have the opportunity. We may or may not have run into a couple of branches, but I think overall we both enjoyed it and we had a really good time. It was very peaceful and just, enjoying the nature and being outdoors. But you guys, it was definitely a workout. Now, I have done kayaking before, and you guys can check out that video. I have it linked when we went kayaking for a half day in the Colorado River. I really enjoyed it. I didn't have any issues with being able to kayak, so I thought this would be something similar, but no, you guys. I found canoeing way harder than kayaking, I guess because the canoes are definitely heavier than a kayak, so I found myself getting tired very quickly on one arm and kept having to switch sides. But don't let that discourage you. It's definitely very doable. We had plenty of time, didn't feel rushed or anything to get to the meeting point, so you could definitely take your time and have a relaxing paddle. One of the tour guides was on a kayak following everyone, making sure we were all headed in the right direction, so don't worry about that. Several people did get tired of paddling, and the tour guide did offer to tow them on the back of the boat to the final destination, which was tempting when they were passing us up, but me and Toby stayed strong and we finished it out all the way to the final stop. So once everyone made it back to the dock and was able to get back on the boat, we headed back to the campsite at Habitat Noosa, and we had about an hour or so before our tour bus was going to pick us up to bring us back to Noosa. So there is a cafe where you can grab something to eat, or our tour guide did recommend for us to go around and see if we could see any kangaroos, so that's what we decided to do. And it was so cool, you guys, to get really up close to a kangaroo, and they were very big, and of course they were very used to people, so we were able to get really close. We even saw one with a kangaroo in its pouch, which was really cool. So that was my day at Habitat Noosa. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you're still watching all the way at the end of this video, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to check out some of my other videos and stay tuned for my next video where we leave Noosa and head to Brisbane.